Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amit, and if you don't already know, I got not one but two hair transplants done in Istanbul, Turkey. Today, I'm going to go through part 2 of the questions that I asked the doctor at Vera Clinic, the clinic that I went to get my 2 hair transplants done, asked by you guys. So a few things to note before we get into that video is that, one, I didn't ask too many questions because this was on the second day and I missed out a few of them on the first, so I added them here today. Secondly is that I didn't film some of the questions that I wanted to ask him on camera, so I'm going to answer those at the end of the video anyway. And lastly, the video about the questions in part 1 didn't get as many views as I thought it would. But regardless, I still think these questions are still very useful to somebody out there. I don't really care if it doesn't get that many views, as long as somebody out there is watching it, and if they find it useful, then I've done my job. So I hope you guys enjoy the video, and of course, as always, if you have any other questions, leave them down below, and I'll try to get to them as soon as I can. This is a very impromptu session because I forgot to ask a couple of questions, and we had more questions asked yesterday. So I wanted to quickly jump on Dr. Karim and just ask him these very simple questions about a hair transplant. So the first question, Dr. Karim, if we've had a major surgery on our scalp and it's all mostly transplanted hairs, is it still important to take Finasteride as a DHT blocker? If there's no native hairs there in the first place, does it matter to continue to take Finasteride?
If our patients, they don't have any existing hair on top, no, it's not necessary. Because what Finasteride does is it stops the hair loss and it reverses the hair loss partially. So for that, you need to have some amount of hair. But if you don't have any hair, like you wouldn't benefit from the Finasteride, so it wouldn't be advisable. Transplant hairs, we are extracting them from the donor region, which is DHT resistant. Once transplanted, even without Finasteride, they should be permanent. But original hairs would benefit from Finasteride.
Next question is, a lot of people ask, when can they start using hair fibers after their transplant? What's like a safe timeline, and are there certain areas we should avoid right after the hair transplant?
Technically, once the skin is fully healed, which usually takes 7 to 10 days, after 10 days, patients can safely use topic. But the thing is, most of our patients, they go for full shaving of their scalp. So those fibers, they need some hair to hold on to. So if the patients are not getting a haircut, then they can use it after 10 days. Or if they shave everything, then they need to wait for a bit of hair growth first, because those fibers needs to hold on to something.
Especially if you've done maybe a hair transplant just on your hairline, the baby hairs that are there usually come out by the 3rd month. Would it be beneficial to wait that long, or still be able to apply it before that?
If there are any existing hair on the operation site, you don't have to wait for it. As long as you have enough hair, you can safely apply topic, the hair fibers.
So another very popular question is, when can you wear a hat after hair transplants? Now, the clinic is very vocal about when they can wear like the bucket hat that they provide. I think generally people want to know when can they wear a regular hat as well.
So after the surgery, the day of the operation, our patients, they should avoid any kind of hat. The following day, we perform the first hair wash. We make sure that the grafts are healthy, they're in their places. After the first day, we provide our patients with our own bucket hat, because those hats are usually large and they do not touch the implanted grafts, so they wouldn't, disturb them. This is advice for the first 10 days. After 10 days, once those grafts are settled firmly, patients can use whichever hat they like. Of course, we don't advise them to keep the hat on all day long, because scalp needs to breathe. Because if you keep the hat all day long, it would also cause hair thinning in the long term. As long as they take it off now and then, they can safely wear a regular hat after 10 days.
That's really good to know, because a lot of people also are worried about how the sun and how bright it is on their scalp. Maybe you can talk a little bit about why that's important to stay out of.
Because after the surgery, we are performing a procedure on the scalp. The scalp is sensitive and it's just healing. And the first month is very important. Patients need to be careful. They need to be conscious about the sun exposure, because it would affect the healing on the scalp. The scalp will be sensitive. Even after 10 days, once the grafts settle firmly, patients need to avoid direct sunlight for an additional 20 days, I would say. What they can do is they can either use a sunblock, sunscreen, they can use a hat, just like we mentioned, or they can also use an umbrella. After 10 days, it's perfectly fine. If the patients also want some camouflage, because after the surgery, there will be some inflammation. It will look a bit pinkish. And they can even use water-based foundation if they want to camouflage that area.
Okay, so this is another good question that some people had was that if you have grays on your donor area, gray hair, and it's extracted and placed onto your scalp,
Yes.
does that hair grow out to be gray or does it go out to be a different color?
They will grow gray.
They will grow gray.
Because
Okay.
the main logic behind the hair transplant is what we call the donor resistant. So those grafts are genetically resistant, and once extracted and implanted, they will preserve this genetics. Either shape or the strength or the color, it will be the same. Black grafts will grow black, the gray ones, they will grow gray.
But obviously over time, not all of them will be gray, but some of them that are still black and implanted in later, those are still possible to turn gray.
If they are destined to be gray, then even after transplant, yes,
And
they will gray. They will turn gray.
That's sad.
Yes.
So that was the short amount of questions that I had asked him on the second day that I was there at the clinic. Fortunately, I forgot to ask him a few others that I thought were very important to know, but I'll kind of just get through some of them here right now. So one of the main questions that was asked was about going to the gym and sweating generally. What's the safe time to do so? He said that after about 3 weeks you can start going back to the gym, but to be safe it's best to wait a month because you don't want to give your scalp any reason to get hit or sweat excessively, which could risk an infection on your scalp. He said the ideal time to wait is 1 month, but you can start getting back as soon as 3 weeks. Another question that was asked was when you can start certain supplements or start using certain oils. He recommended for supplements you can start taking them after a week from your hair transplant. Supplements such as biotin, zinc, magnesium, iron, all these kind of go hand in hand when you can start taking them after a week of your hair transplant. Another thing was taking oils. They usually do provide a serum at the clinic that you can start using after a month. Give yourself that time to use a serum prior to that, which again, I would also recommend because I used that when I had my hair transplants done from them twice. I picked it up as well. It's called a GF serum. You can find it on Amazon now. If you finished that, then you can end up using rosemary oil. But if you are only looking to use one specific oil at a time, that's totally fine too. Then just wait 2 months and then use rosemary oil. The reason why is because you need more hair to grow on the scalp there before you start applying it, or else it's going to be pointless because it adds nourishment to the hairs that are growing out. And the last question I asked him was, how do we use minoxidil together with rosemary oil? And he mentioned that you can start using minoxidil first. If you're using the foam version, it's better because it will absorb into your scalp quicker. You can start using that in the mornings, apply it first, and then afterwards you can apply the rosemary oil once the foam has all been absorbed. Wait around 30 minutes and then you can start applying it. Alternatively, you can also do that at night. Apply the minoxidil on your scalp and then wait 30 minutes and apply the rosemary oil at night. Use rosemary oil once a day. Don't use it twice because it's just an excessive amount of oil on your scalp and then you'll have to wash it out every single day, which is not what you want to do. I personally use mine at night because it's just easier before I sleep. I don't use it immediately after to go to sleep. I kind of let it dry out and then end up sleeping so my pillow doesn't get too gross. And then the next morning I just wash it all out. So at least it's there throughout the entire night. Okay, I hope some of these questions were answered for you. At least if I missed out any, please drop them in the comment section below. I'm happy to still respond to what I know about getting a hair transplant, and hopefully it helps people out there. I'm also in contact with the doctor and I'll try to ask him as many more questions if need be. But as of right now, I hope that what I've provided, the question that you guys have asked and gotten the answers from the doctor have been sufficient and they've been helpful to you as well. Also, if you guys need any personal help, I'm here for you. You can sign up for a one-on-one hair consultation service that I have, and we'll talk about your hair transplants. You can ask me all the questions you need to, and I'll try to get you all the answers that you also are looking for. If you sign up for an hour with me, you get unlimited follow-ups, which is really great. A lot of people have been doing that. I also provide you with as much information as you need prior to getting your hair transplants, even a list of products that you are looking for afterwards. So definitely do consider booking some time with me so we can have that consultation. The link is in the description below. And lastly, if you're looking to get a hair transplant at the clinic that I went to, you can get a 5% discount right now if you sign up with them before the 31st of December 2024. How the discount works is that you have to sign up with them, pay your deposit, and you'll get that 5% discount before the 31st, and you can schedule your appointment anytime throughout the year next year, or this year even if you can. Definitely do get that discount. It's worth it. I bargained so much with the clinic to get you guys something, so make use of it while you can. They don't do this for everyone, by the way. It's exclusively for my audience, so hopefully it helps you guys. Alright, that's all for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Next up is the honest review of my thoughts about the clinic. And then after that, I'm going to be talking about my final 18th month updates. That's a big one, so stay tuned. Stay subscribed, like this video, turn on those bell notifications, and I'll catch you guys soon. Peace.